Hi guys, Shaun from Optics. So today we're here at the GBPRA 2-2 event in Dartmouth. This is the 0-1 event. So we recently joined up with GBPRA and started sponsorship with them. And we're going to be going around seeing the shooters, asking them what kit they use, if they've got any tips and tricks, and seeing how we can get more people involved with the 2-2 PRA association. Hey Ryan.
Hey mate, how are you
doing?
Thank you for joining us.
No, thank you. And how's today been?
Yeah, today's been pretty good fun. We've had lots of new shooters. The old hands are doing what the experienced shooters do, and the wind's been catching everybody out.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a bit of a swirling wind.
Yeah, it's been very, very changeable.
Yeah.
There's been everything from holding left to holding right and holding straight up when you think you need to do either. So
Yeah,
it's been good fun.
And how do you shoot?
I think I've shot pretty good. We've got another 5 stages to shoot tomorrow, but I think I'm up in the mix. So
Okay,
five good stages tomorrow, and we'll see what happens at the end.
And it's obviously it's first of the 4 or 5 events for the qualifying for UK next year.
Yeah, so there's going to be 5 qualification matches. This is the first one, and we've got one in Cregger in Ireland.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have one at Monmouth.
Yeah.
There'll be one at Pro Shoot in Wales, and then there'll be a 5th one, which will be at a brand new venue nobody shot at yet. We're keeping under wraps. So then what we'll do is we'll take the best 2 scores from those qualification matches, and we'll select Team GB for the Home World Championships, which is, it's brought all of the big dogs out because everybody wants to be part of a successful home World Championships.
Excellent. Are you going in September over to America?
Yeah, so there's a group of us representing the GBPRA in Cameo in Colorado, so I'm lucky enough to have made the cut again.
Yeah.
So this will be my 3rd World Championships. It'll be my 2nd centre fire, so I think I've sort of now looked on as one of the more experienced ones. And we've got a lot of guys who travel internationally now, and they know what they're doing.
Excellent. And obviously you've got here. I've just picked this up and it absolutely weighs a ton.
It's as heavy as it needs to be.
This is like a heavy 2-2.
Yeah,
how much does it weigh?
I don't know. It's probably 22 pounds.
I thought it was. Yeah.
What it will do though is it's just going to sit there and not move. All it wants to do is just be straight.
And then you've obviously got an MDT chassis system on that. That's which one?
So front to back. So this is the MDT ACC Elite.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm on Team MDT.
Yeah.
So we get the choice of the extras as well. So these are the control bridges on the top here.
And what do they do from like a non-PRS shooter point of
When
view?
you've got your support hand on the rifle, they give you a reference point, something to index on.
Yeah.
But also, more importantly, they're going to stop you from touching your barrel.
Yeah.
And then we've also got a pair of weights here because it's not heavy enough with this big barrel.
And what do the adding weight do?
So the weight is purely to make it balance well. So if the rifle's balanced well, then it's going to be easy to shoot.
Okay.
And then coming back, these are the MDT Baker wings.
Yeah.
And as you can see, what they do is they make the footprint of the chassis wider.
Yeah.
And they just fit on the M-LOK slots. So cool thing with these, they'll fit on any M-LOK chassis as well.
Yeah.
So if we flip around to the other side, so here we've got MDT's new Crush It timer.
Yeah.
So this is stage timer. So you press start and this will count down, let you know how much time you've got left on the stage, which is great. And then this is a send it level.
Yeah.
So send it level has LEDs here.
Yeah.
And what I've got here is some fibre optic cables, and they're right underneath the ocular bell of my scope, so it's easy to see.
And that rifle I just shot then, that was using the send it level system. So blue obviously canted to the left, green good, red to the right.
Yeah, I think you can see that there. And then right at the back here we've got the MDT dampers.
Yeah.
So you hear the timer now, that's 6 beeps, it's telling us there's 60 seconds left.
Yeah.
So it's just another reference point, so you know where you're at, if you need to speed up or if you can keep the same cadence. So the dampers here, they basically reduce vibration, so just make the rifles dead to shoot, and they look pretty cool as well. And we've got a custom made bag rider here as well, which works pretty cool.
And obviously then onto the mount.
Yes, the mount is a tier 1 cantilever mono mount. It's the QD version. And this is in the sand colour, which is if I'm honest, it's the coolest colour because
Yeah.
nobody else has one. And then Scope is the new Carles 328i.
Yeah.
So it's got a massive massive eye box on 20 mag. The field of view is like 24 mils wide. It's
yeah,
huge.
which is huge.
And then onto the rifles. The rifle is a Zermatt Rimex Action.
Yeah.
And we've got a 26-inch long Phoenix rimfire barrel,
Yeah.
which is it's a 1 in 14 twist for the guys who like to geek out on that.
Yeah.
So normally rimfires are a 16 twist. It's slightly faster.
Yeah.
Just gives you a bit more precision further out.
Okay.
And then the trigger is it's a Trigger Tech Diamond 2-stage, which again I think you guys carry Trigger Techs. If you don't, you probably should.
Right. Okay.
Trigger Techs.
Trigger Tech. Little shout out. There.
Yeah, shout out to Mark and Jill at Trigger Tech. They're awesome people.
So I'm here with Ben and Laura today. They're a couple and they're shooting the 22 PRL competition down here in Dartmouth. Did you start at the same time, or were you first, or were you first?
I started probably 4 to 6 months before.
Okay, cool.
So I've been shooting probably 18 months, coming up 2 years now.
Yeah.
I just used to come and watch, didn't I? We've got a little boy, Louis.
Oh, okay.
So he started coming with us when he was 11 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We started shooting centerfire too.
Yeah.
So he would just sit there with his little earmuffs on in the pram, and then it got to a point where Laura was like, you know what, I'll have a go at this.
Yeah.
And then rimfire was more affordable.
Yeah.
So ended up here.
Yeah, nice.
Which is cool.
Well, you're just telling me the scopes you got. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's an affordable sport, but you can really push to the limits by putting some top-end glass on it.
Genuinely, like I genuinely wouldn't be able to. I have to sort of have confidence in my kit.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, we've got different opinions. I think Z2 are as good as it gets.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't be able to afford that.
Yeah.
Put it on monthly.
Yeah.
Different game. So between us now we can have both top tier glass.
Yeah.
Which genuinely with 2.2 especially gives you an advantage. You can be able to see the bullet in flight.
Yeah. That's...
So if anyone's thinking of sort of 2.2 scopes, people normally go cheap.
Yeah.
We try and defer them because you are going to end up needing a good scope if you want to compete.
Buy once, cry once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And especially Finance gives you the ability to do that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Especially with me, I think with the gauzy eyes, as I call it. Yeah. The good glass definitely helps.
Yeah.
You like the Retina Night Force too?
I do, yeah.
And obviously the good thing with not only is the glass good, but it's obviously you've got the mechanical ability. The trouble is obviously with the cheaper stuff, you potentially can get those dead clicks in the extremes of the travel, whereas the ZCO, the Night Force, are never going to get that.
No, the big thing for me is tactile turrets. So
yeah.
The Night Force was good with the 11mm turret, I think it's 11 or 12mm turret.
Yeah.
The ZCO is great, it's a 10mm turret. It's big, loud clicks.
Yeah.
And you really can't miss that on stage.
Yeah.
Some
I
of them.
prefer it the other way around.
You do. So
because I
very
can then
personal.
dial in one whole thing.
Rev,
because
yeah.
obviously my hands are smaller.
Yeah.
Because it's closer together, I can just go right the way round
Yeah.
and then right the way back.
And then how many mils would you be applying to shoot at?
We
like
shot
250.
284, I think.
Yeah.
And I think I was 10.6, and you're very similar, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Laura's a bit quicker than me. So,
Yeah.
so I'm right round the turret,
Yeah.
where Laura would still be on one rotation, which
Yeah.
there is obviously merit in
Benefit,
both.
yeah.
Well, I probably gain close up,
Yeah.
where it's big clicks, but Laura probably gains when we're going further.
And obviously we've got the target here in the background.
Yes.
Obviously you've got the fact that it's moving left to right.
Mhm.
How did you find this one?
To be honest, it wasn't too bad. I tried to build time, gain time in the stage, so I would, when it was stationary, I'd shoot it really quickly,
Yeah.
and I'd sort of gain a bit of time. So when it was moving, I could just take a breath,
Yeah.
wait for it to stop, bang, and then I was lucky enough to clean it. So
Yeah.
that was,
that was good.
It was cool.
What about you, Laura?
Not as well as I'd wanted, but still an alright score. I got
Yeah.
7 out of 10. I completely forgot to take the rifle out my shoulder on this one. It was a little bit wobbly, so I should have removed a bit of contact and I'd have got them, but
Yeah.
a little bit of wobble sent me off, but it is what it is now. It's done.
And you're saying obviously it's stage, you're just on 9 now, so it's coming up to the 10th.
10th one. and
How
we're
is
done for the day.
how is it? It's obviously quite draining because
Yeah.
concentration.
It's difficult. Like trying to keep concentration all day is impossible.
Yeah.
I try and like switch on, switch off, because otherwise you're just drained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a mental game, isn't
Especially
it,
in
as
the
well as
warm.
physical.
Yeah,
Like you really-
yeah, it's muggy today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So factory division, is that, what's the limitations of that?
Factory division, basically, it's a production rifle, so it comes out as it comes out of the factory. So I was competing at the time with a rifle that you couldn't put any weights on.
Okay.
Things have changed so much now. So
Right.
like the MPA factory rifles are basically a ready-to-go race gun. So so it'll be a different game this time, hopefully.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And just had then, so you were in Italy last year for the World Champs.
Yeah, for the
How
PR2
did you do?
too. Yeah, pretty good as a team. I think we got silver. I should know that off the top of my head, shouldn't I? It's been a long time.
Yeah,
I think
good
we got-
accolade.
I think we got silver, yeah. So it might be a bronze. I should caveat that just in case.
That's
But
cool
yeah,
though.
But it was really good. It's worth going. Definitely.
And then this is obviously, is this the first of the season?
This is the first qualifier for the 2-2.
Yeah.
We've been competing in centrefire already.
Yeah.
But the team's already decided last year for the centrefire World Championships that we're going out to in September.
Oh, is that the one in Colorado?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's
Yeah.
gonna be really good
That's
fun.
gonna be
And then so this is the first qualifier for the 2-2 World Championships, which is obviously going to be in Great Britain next year.
Yeah. So you want to be on the team for that?
Yeah, really excited about it. We'll save a fortune on the flights for this year.
Yeah, I bet it's expensive going over there.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
And then to run the guns as well.
Yeah, and especially we've ended up buying ammunition out there rather than, because we can only carry so much on the flight. You can only take 5 kilos.
Oh right.
And if you want to do any check beforehand, or even for the match, that's just enough for the match.
Yeah. So you don't want to be
imagine
pushing
having
that.
no extra rounds.
Yeah, that'd be unfortunate.
That would be a long way to go to take a chance.
Yeah. And then what gun do you run on the centerfire?
Masterpiece Arms as
well.
well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in a team with Josh at C2 Precision. And we're Team MPA UK.
Yeah.
Masterpiece Arms, and we run the MPA, like I said, the factory rifles. They're called the MPA Elite rifles.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing bad to say. It's a real big step up from where I was last time.
Oh, that's cool. And then what scope have you got on top of it?
Night Force.
Night Force.
So
Is that
I run.
attacker?
Yeah.
735?
Yeah.
And then what rec you got in that?
It's the Mill XT.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then do you find the Mill XTs better as a choice?
I mean, there's.
It's all personal.
Toying with the
preference,
idea of a Mill C now.
Okay.
But I really like the Mill XT. I mean, the stuff that I came from again was very similar, but this just seems to have the edge. I've gelled with it really well now.
So previously for the factory class, what were you running that? Have you got like a price tag limit in the factory?
No, there's no price tag limit. Yeah, so it's basically you could spend whatever you like, but at the time we were in the infancy of the sport.
Yeah.
Well, certainly in Europe anyway. I mean, the Americans are 15 years ahead of us at the game. That's my excuse for them being better.
Yeah.
But no, they are insanely good, and they're some really nice people as well. But what manufacturers were producing was aimed at the sporting market or the target market, not necessarily at PRS, which is kind of sits in between.
Yeah.
So now they're very much listening to what we need. They see the fact that people aren't afraid to spend a few quid on a race gun setup.
Yeah.
It's a bit more engaging instead of the. I mean, I'm not saying I've done lots of other target type shooting.
Yeah.
And they're all great.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's exhilarating. The people you meet are fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's a bit more engaging.
Yeah, definitely. Just coming today, there's how many shooters we've got here today?
Do you know what? I should know that as well. I should
50?
know that. It's been a really busy week at work.
Oh, that's all right.
I knew I had to turn up.
It looks like a full house, and looking around, obviously, because we sell a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing, that's that. Oh, that's a few £1,000. Oh, there's a ZCO there. And people are definitely not afraid to spend money in this sport. And obviously, if you were getting into the sport for like a newbie, what would you say are like the essentials, and what would you say are the things that are going to make the minor differences to your score? Is there anything that you would
The first thing I
suggest?
would say is don't worry too much about the minor differences in your score.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is to come along to a match and have fun.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it happened to me when I first started. I didn't even have a rifle that other than a boxing rifle that I could take out before I came to this. I came to a shoot. People will throw things at you. It's fantastic.
That's good.
I just walked straight up to shake some hands, and they were like, "Oh, you haven't got a gun? Do you want to go? Here you go. There's a full magazine. This is what we're going to do. This is how you should do it." And they're just so engaging and so encouraging, and they just sort of went from there. And the great thing is, especially seeing you guys here as well, to see the engagement that's gathering.
Yeah.
But also that means there's more opportunity for people to try new stuff.
Absolutely.
So some of this stuff does have frighteningly large price tags. I hasten to add, you don't need to start with the really expensive stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I started with an element scope, like the real budget stuff, and a Teak Attack. I know it's a great rifle, but stock off the shelf, and that did the job just fine. It's, one thing I would say though is buy once, cry once.
Yeah, agreed.
If you can, spend the time saving up, you could buy a scope like the Attacker.
Yeah.
Like that'll do me for my lifetime.
Yes.
The mechanics inside are so strong that it's going to take a lifetime of dialing, and we do a lot of dialing.
Yeah.
That's the
And
main
especially in the 2-2 events as well. It's
Yeah.
the same, because basically it's the same difference to shooting a centerfire up to 800, 900 yards,
Yeah.
but you just got the ability to shoot a load of rounds, not annoy anyone,
Yeah.
and it costs like a fraction of the price.
That's it. Yeah,
So-
absolutely. I mean, on that last stage, then we had on
Yeah.
the furthest target, we had 12.5 mils dial.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's exactly. It's just like
Yeah.
going out to 1,000 plus with,
Yeah.
with a centerfire.
Impact. Impact.
So I'm here with Joe today, and obviously you just finished the 10 stages. How
Yep.
do you get on?
Yeah, not too bad. Had a couple of bad stages that just lead too many points on.
Yeah.
But generally, not too bad. I think just off the pace where I'd like to be anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say was the hardest one?
Probably the most mentally taxing was Twitty's long range stage.
Okay.
I'll get a sequence on that one.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to, because even though you're impacting targets beyond that, they actually go down as a miss. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
it stings you a little bit. Yeah.
And then what distances is that out to then?
248 metres.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's pushing the capability.
Yeah, it's pretty out there for a 2-2. I mean, before I started doing this, if you'd said you're going to shoot a 2-2 beyond 100 yards, seems a long way, let alone sort of 250 metres. But
And then so obviously off the back of that, you've been in the centerfire sport for a while, and then just transitioned over.
yeah, so started off shooting centerfire in August 2020.
Yeah.
And then sort of rimfire took off in 2021 in the UK, really, probably.
Yeah.
Started having a few matches in around 22, started at Silverstone. So sort of got into it at that point then, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously you're running Leopolds.
Yep.
The Mark 5, is it?
Mark 5.
Yeah.
I've run the Mark 5 since before I got into the sport, and then just got a Mark 4 for rimfire, with it having the ability to parallax down to like 25 yards.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Mark 5, it will go down to sort of 35 yards, but anything closer than that's
Yeah.
have to
Okay.
back off mag.
Back the mag. Yeah.
That's it.
And so obviously have you got the championships over in America in September?
Yes, heading over to Colorado in September for that. Which will be good. A group of people going.
And how did you do in the Worlds last year?
Didn't actually shoot the rimfire Worlds last year, unfortunately.
Okay.
No, I couldn't make it.
But you done the
but
centerfire.
Did the centerfire in
Yeah.
France the previous year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
where do you reckon you feel like you've got some form going to America?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. I think
Yeah.
the Americans are always going to be
They're-
sort of a
yeah,
big
they've been
challenge.
doing it
it's,
for a while,
It's sort of
haven't
the
they?
rest of the world against those guys. But
Yeah.
I think on our day we're certainly very competitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, GB showed that last year at the Rimfire Worlds. We didn't manage to chip away at the Americans particularly, but we took
Yeah.
second place in a lot of divisions. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Excellent. Well, that's good. It's good for the sport, especially with the fact that we've got the Worlds coming there
that's it.
next year.
Yeah.
Would you say this is a good, we were just speaking about it then, would you say this is like a good entry into the discipline itself?
Yeah, definitely. I think 2-2, as we were just saying a few minutes ago, most people have got a rimfire of some description once they've got an FAC. And access to be able to do it at ranges is a lot easier. You know, you can do it at a 50 metre range or 100 metre range, or further out where you can.
Yeah.
Centerfire, you're limited to sort of Wales or Scotland or Bisley, really, for those longer range distances.
Yeah, we haven't got the benefit like in the States where
That's
they've
it.
got so much land to be able to
Exactly
like, use the centerfires and have multiple opportunities to go and do like the actual PRS events across the whole of the States.
Yeah, exactly that.
So everything's electronic now.
Everything's electronic, yeah.
And the scores automatically, so the targets feed straight.
No, so
onto-
the staging amongst themselves.
Yeah.
So basically, you have one guy shooting,
Yeah.
and they've got another. Today we've got another six. Basically, just sat around doing nothing. So what they do is they spot for each other.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So they will spot. So you'll have 2 or 3 different guys spotting, and they will they'll shout out impacts.
Yeah.
And then the range officer will then mark it in the app,
Yeah.
and then after the stage is complete, he'll then press save, and that gets fed up straight away to
Yeah. Cool.
the website.
So in terms of the GBPRA league, this is the first of the qualifiers for the UK team.
So the way it works is we have an affiliation program. So clubs all around the country affiliate to us.
Yeah.
Every month we send out a qualifier. So we send out a miniature version of this every month. They shoot that, send us in the scores, and then they select their best 6 shooters to send to these events.
Okay, cool.
And we run five on the lead up to World Championships next year to select the UK team.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a big deal coming.
Yeah, this is.
Year.
I mean, some people have driven 9 hours to get here this weekend.
So it's substantial.
Not quite 9.
Wow.
So 8 and a bit for
That's
yourself.
a long way.
Andy Smith has driven 9 hours for this. So they come from all over the country and they train for weeks in advance for this particular shoot.
Yeah, amazing.
I did as well. Yeah. I hadn't put him down it, but my old car was on.
So I'm Shaun from Clara, and what's your name?
Noah Smith.
Noah Smith, and you're a junior. So how's it been?
It's been great so far. I mean, only started about 18 months ago.
Okay.
Started off, and it just grew straight away.
Yeah.
Progress is really good, and we were at the World Championships before we knew it in Italy, and I went in with no expectations and came out with 9th place.
Did you?
Yeah,
amazing. Excellent.
which is really good.
Yeah.
So it's been great. Yeah.
What got you into shooting in the beginning?
Well, my dad started.
Yeah.
He showed me some stuff, and I was like, I want to give that a go.
Yeah, yeah.
So really, just my dad.
Yeah.
And he's been great.
Yeah.
He's helped me with everything. Basically, superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. What scope are you running at the moment?
Just got, well, I've got a Zco.
Yeah.
But today got a Meopta, but
yeah.
my gun's just in the works because I'm currently running his left-handed bolt.
Yeah.
And I'm right-handed, but we've got it in the works. We've got a right-handed gun coming soon.
Nice, nice. What are you going to go for?
It will be, we'll have the Zco scope.
Yeah.
MDT chassis.
Yeah.
Rimex.
Yeah.
Getting done by Mike Norris.
Okay. Yeah.
He's making basically
Mike's
custom.
Yeah.
Gone full in. Hopefully you'll
it's
really.
expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Is that for 2.2 as well?
That's a 2.2 and
that's,
got a centre fire. And yeah, we've gone full in.
Yeah. So did you start in 2.2 or did you start centre fire? Or?
Started 2.2.
Yeah.
I'd say to anyone, I'd say starting 2.2.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a lot fun, more fun. I'd say you hit a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much more
less expensive as well.
Yeah, completely. I was going to say it's a lot more achievable for people to come to a 2.2 event, and just it's from a point of view of being able to host events. Like we walked down to the car park up there, and it's deadly quiet. It's like you can just hear little plinks going off. It's great. So usually, obviously, with the UK, you've got the issue of like noise constraints and everything. So
yeah, they do have that up in pro shoot. You can only start at a certain time. The noise really.
Whereas this, everyone can rattle off like a good few thousand rounds by the end of the weekend of the group, and then you've got no noise issues, so it's brilliant. So you're going to be selected for next year for the team, is it, for the UK?
2-2.
Yeah.
I'm also selected for the centre fire in America, so I'm going over there.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that will be really good.
Where's that?
That is Colorado, Denver.
Yeah.
So that'll be really good.
What date are you going for that?
It is 7th of September.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
During school time. Missing 2 weeks. Yeah, so that's great as well.
Well, at least you're representing the country.
Yeah.
So you've got a good excuse.
Impact! No, that's good. Keep it at that volume.
You have fun?
Yeah, shot a bit, some good stages, some not so good stages, so a bit of a mixed bag today.
Awesome. So obviously Ryan's your husband.
Yes.
And he got you into the sport.
Yes, I kind of ever wanted to see him. I sort of had to be involved in this because he was
bit of an
away
addiction.
every weekend.
Yeah.
So.
And you were the photographer to begin with, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I started out with the centre fire.
Yeah.
And then decided I much preferred rimfire, so now I'm the centre fire photographer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. And obviously you've got your 2.2 here.
Yep.
Do you want to talk it through?
Yeah, so it's a Brock and Norris custom build with the barrel and the custom tuner on the top as well. So the tuner is just really useful, just to sort of dial in the groups when you're trying different ammo.
Yeah.
It's in a MDT ACC, which has been Cerakoted, lovely rose gold colour.
Yeah.
We've then got the dampeners at the back, which are really useful. They take out the vibrations. I found with the MDT, what's been really useful for me is this shorter butt plate. So obviously I'm much shorter than Ryan. So when I first started shooting and I was using his rifles, I was struggling to reach.
Yeah.
Whereas now, and they weigh a ton. Yeah, well, this isn't that much lighter, but yeah, what was really useful was having the length of pull being able to be reduced and then just be able to customise all of this. He's also lightened the back as well, because just to take some weight out for me. The weight all went back in with the barrel though, unfortunately. Got a Carles 525 scope, which I went with not just for the quality of glass, but also because you can parallax right down to 20 or 25 metres, which some of the shorter stages require. Got Trigger Tech diamond trigger in gold. The scope is on the tier 1 mount, which if I switch it round, you'll be able to see is one of the quick release. So they're really, really useful because I've only got the one scope, so that switches between the two rifles as and when I need it. And then there's a few twiddly bits just to make it a bit easier for PRS. So we've got the little send it level with the Rysops ocular here. So it's an MDT send it level, and then we've just put a little, we'll pop it there, little scope that just tells me when I'm level. And really useful is the dope card holder for PRS. Just guides you through the stage. So on the stage we were doing before, a lot of people were doing 2 shots, then taking 2 shots, going out of sequence. So just having that little reminder there is really, really useful.
And then each time you've got certain rules to each target, you're just scribble it out, write it on.
So that's just masking tape on the thing. So you just put a fresh bit of masking tape and just jot down. It may be that so you see here where I've got on the turret tape, I've got all the blue markings.
Oh yeah.
So that was when I was doing the troop line, and I just put a little blue mark at each dial.
Makes it a lot easier to see the target.
Makes it a lot easier, but then I'd also have them written out there as well, just so I can sort of double check where I'm going to. So yeah, it might be that you've got your dope written there, it might be the instructions, direction of movement, that kind of thing, because they do try and trick you a little bit and
try and get you going and then change
because there's a lot going on, there's a lot to think about. So it may be different target distances, it may be you've got lots of positions and lots of movement, and then if you've got a bit of wind out there as well, you've got to factor in thinking about that. So anything that makes that a little bit easier.
What would you say is some words of advice for ladies trying to get into PRL?
I'd say don't feel like it's a boys' own kind of club. Everyone just wants to see more shooters. There are now substantially more ladies than there were when I started, so I think there's been 5 ladies shooting today. And it's a friendly atmosphere. It's not, I came from sort of a dance background where there's lots of girls, and that gets a bit, that's not great. Whereas here, actually, being sort of like a little, group of girls with a load of guys, you sort of stick together as you go, as oh, I like guns. Oh, I like guns too. Oh, okay, we're friends now. So it's nice to sort of have a little more ladies involved. So yeah, definitely, if you are a lady and you are looking at getting more involved, please just come along to shoots. People will lend you kits, which is always good. Everybody wants to see more shooters, and everyone will be really friendly and just wants to see people turning up.
We're hoping to get on
Senior class, you haven't mentioned though.
Senior class, but yes.
Just in case you think of juniors or ladies, senior class.
So for seniors is 55 and over, but otherwise there's no limitations on the classes.
You said 65 and over, didn't you?
55.
55. Well, even if
we're having this fight, but 55.
Okay.
We're having this fight with IPRF, maybe up in the age.
You should do.
I think so.
I think 65 would be a good year.
And then when you hit 70, up the edge.
But keep going till then. Young man's sport this.
How long have you been shooting yourself personally?
Before this?
In general?
60 years.
60 years. And then when do you start PRS?
2 years ago. My son shoots here, so he got into it.
Got you into it.
It was longer than 2 years ago, wasn't it?
No, it was February 2 years ago.
Right. I thought you were shooting longer than that.
When you say it's a young man sport, is it just because of the
Getting up and
positioning?
moving.
Yeah.
You imagine 12 movements in 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit challenging.
It's a bit challenging.
Yeah, and some of the the sandwich positions you have to get into look fun.
Yeah. The gyms are making good money out of me at the moment.
But you shot well in France.
I did. You always look back. You think you should better, of course. But yeah. France was quite challenging, and then Italy was good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The World Championships.
The World Championships.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the camaraderie among the PRS people is outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, the best part about Italy was obviously the hotel we booked with.
Oh yes, that's great. I don't know who booked that hotel, but it was brilliant. And some very clever chap did that.
Who could have come up with that idea?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we all drove. Many of us drove down.
Yeah.
And my wife came with me as well.
Okay.
She was keen to see both her husband and son shoot in it.
Yeah,
We had an
yeah,
absolutely tremendous time.
Yeah, amazing.
We booked out an entire hotel with a pool and a spa.
Did you?
And a dog.
Oh wow.
And a dog, yeah.
And a free dog.
Yeah. Booked out the entire hotel just for the.
Yeah.
That was nice of you.
Yeah, it was good, yeah.
And then, what rifle you got today then?
I've got a Zermatt Rim-X.
I read it. Yeah, seems to be a lot of them around.
Yeah, it's a pretty wrist-tuned rifle, but it's not very forgiving. You need to handle it properly.
Okay.
Don't do dopey things like edging the bolt forward. You need to give it a good.
Actually, a good slam forward. Yeah. And then, what scope do you run?
I've changed from Night Force to Z2 now.
Have you?
Zero optimized.
Okay.
I've got one now in both rifles, both in my PRS rifle and my PR22 rifle.
527.
527 with the
10
M2.
mils?
With the two reticle X2.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like the Mill XT
MB2S.
in Night Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with that.
And then, so you've got the same scope on both rifles.
Correct.
And the 10mm adjustments, or you've gone
10mm adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the reason for the 10mm adjustment, just for the guys who may not know?
It's quicker to use probably because the visions are bigger rather than having to. But today, of course, we're right beyond 10 sometimes. Yep. So I know one person didn't correct it back to 0. He went to 10 instead of 0.
Yeah, easily done.
Yeah.
And especially with that clock going as well.
Oh yes.
The amount of silly mistakes people make as soon as that buzzer goes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Brain just switches off.
Yes.
Yeah. People always say you come up with a plan, and then as soon as the buzzer goes, your plan just goes out the window and you just shoot.
It's like war, isn't it?
Yeah.
Middle?
Yeah.
It's a long time no see.
Yeah, nice to see you
Yeah,
again.
nice to see you again. And how long is it to get down there then for you?
Oh, it's a bit of a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good so far then?
Yeah, been really good. You can probably see the weather's brilliant here today.
Yeah.
Everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
It's not lashing down with rain as it normally is, so
yeah. No, it's nice. It's actually there's a little bit of wind though today, isn't there? Is it making it a bit tricky?
Yeah, so it's one of the struggles with 2.2 PRS is that it's very, very wind sensitive, so makes a good challenge. I've just shot a stage there, long range stage, 215 meters I think it was.
Yeah.
Got 9 out of 10 and just had one slip on me just off the side of the plate. So.
And what scope are you running? One of the Bushnells?
But yeah, Bushnell Max Pro ED.
Yeah.
So it's a new one. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, super crisp, and it's perfect for this sort of game because you can parallax all the way down to rimfire short ranges. So.
Yeah, and then what rifle are you running?
So I'm running a custom Rim-X, so it's a matte Rim-X, foundation stock, and all that sort of jazz. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, big standy trigger. Yeah, really nice to use. It's just every time you go out, even if you are not winning or you're second or third, having the best day, you're still absolutely loving what you're doing. So just so much fun to use. So.
Do you reckon you got a chance of getting in the team for next year?
Hopefully so. Yeah. So last year I was in factory division, so it's a bit more restricted.
Okay.
And even then, with my score in factory, I think I would have qualified for open last year.
Okay,
so,
excellent.
Now I've got my own proper open rig.
Yeah.
And giving it a go.
Yeah. And do you shoot centre fire as well?
I do as well.
well. Yeah. So shoot all the centre fire matches.
Okay, cool.
And again, so I'm in the team for factory this year, but then next year I'll shoot open and centre fire as well.
And then just for the people who may not know the difference between factory and open, what is the difference?
So the key difference with factory class is it's meant to be like an off-the-shelf option rifle. So there's no price point cut off with it. So it's not like a production class that the US have. It's just an off-the-shelf rifle and has to be shot in exactly the spec that you can buy it from a shop.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Well, I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the afternoon.
Brilliant.
And,
good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Here with Mark Twitty here, and I've known Mark for a long time now.
Long time.
Yeah, long time. And obviously he's got his rifle in his hand. So what are you running, Mark?
I'm running a custom CZ. So CZ 457.
Yeah.
All been tricked and trued and all that sort of stuff. A huge barrel. For weight. And I'm running it in a Warrior chassis, which is a new chassis coming in from South Africa.
Okay.
So, and a Element Theos scope.
Nice.
Which you know of.
Yeah, definitely. And it's got a spur mount on there as well.
Yeah, and you're running a spur. Yeah.
And then what's the little shield red dot for then?
Right, so as you get older, and your eyes go. So what I can do with the shield is when I'm looking for targets, I can just lift my head up, find the general direction, then go down and I'm there.
Yeah, excellent.
So instead of going through the scope, especially if you're zoomed in a little bit, hunting for the target, I can just
quick acquisition.
Quick acquisition. Drop my head down. I'm there.
Yeah. And then what class are you shooting in today then?
I'm senior.
You're in senior?
Yeah, I'm in senior class, which is 55 plus.
55 plus, yeah.
Because I'm 67, unfortunately.
Are you?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. So I've known you for a long time now.
Yes.
Yeah, and then obviously you got FMJ on the side, this is Cerakoting business.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. So there's about 9 rifles here that I've coated.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So my main business is, although I'm an RFD, I have to be an RFD because I've taken everybody's rifles in. So I'm Section 5 as well. So I do a lot of Cerakoting of all sorts.
Yeah.
But main business is firearms. And stuff like that. So.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. So been at that a few years as well.
Yeah, you have definitely. And how are you getting on today then?
Yeah, all right.
You said you had
I've had a couple of mares.
Issues.
Yeah, I've had a couple of mares. It's strange. And there's a couple of us doing the same thing. The hard ones. We're hitting, and the easy ones we're missing.
Yeah,
so
and you were saying as well, obviously the element of the clock.
90 seconds.
Rushing it.
All morning I was leaving tons of time on the clock.
Yeah.
So, and Andre's coaching me and he said, slow down, slow down.
Yeah.
So I did slow down, then I ran out of time.
Hopefully this next target you'll actually finish with a few seconds.
Yeah, get it.
And knock them all down.
Yeah, but it's going all right. The range is good. So.
And you do this on the side, is it?
Yeah. So I run this range 01. Been doing it this last second year.
Yeah.
We just about got it there now. Got all.
Yeah. No, look, it's excellent.
Yeah, got all the steels and.
You got multiple targets, obviously.
We normally run 50 steels.
50 steels. Yeah.
On both sides, and then it's just
and the
constant
distances.
We can shoot from 25 meters to 300.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And that is the limits of a 2-2.
Yeah, for consistent
grouping.
Yeah. To guarantee it. I mean, today we're shooting 251. I think is the longest we're shooting today.
Yeah.
Because the world's next year will be a max of 250.
Right. Okay.
So we might as well qualify at the max distance as well. Why make it too hard?
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously with the Worlds next year, that's in July, August time.
Yeah, that'll be July, August. So this is the first qualifier.
Yeah.
There's fortnight's time is Northern Ireland.
Yeah. Are you going over?
Yep. And then I'm going to try and do them all. Then there's one in Wales. Then there's one. I think there's 2 in Wales, 2 different venues.
Yeah.
And then 1 up in Birmingham way.
Excellent.
So busy.
Yeah, that is going to be busy.
Yeah, but we've got to try and.
And you do the centre fire as well.
Yeah, I do the centre fire as well. Yeah. So. Yes.
So you do 2-2, then centre fire.
Then centre fire, then 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah. Just bounce between the two. So
your wife doesn't see you much.
She did think that as I was getting older I'd slow up, but it doesn't seem to be. I'm slowing up.
Yeah.
But the amount of shooting is slowing up. You know what I mean?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
you've just moved from junior to men's now, is it?
So I've gone from juniors to open division.
Open division. And is what's your main focus? Is it centre fire or is it 2-2?
So my main focus the past couple of years has been 2-2.
Yeah.
Because I've done a lot more 2-2 shooting over this year and last year.
Yeah.
Compared to centre fire where I've shot one match this year.
Okay.
And last year I shot maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But 2-2 I've been shooting. I've shot about 6 already.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. So whereabouts are you based?
So I live in Middlesbrough.
Okay.
So up north there's not much of all this stuff going on. But there's a few new ranges popping up where I'm able to go practice.
Yeah, excellent. And I just heard you're going to America. When are you going there?
September the 9th, flying out.
Okay.
And then till September 19th, so it's a 10-day trip.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good experience.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be fun.
I want to get more practice centre firing before I go.
Yeah.
I'm going to a couple of ranges in the north.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get some practice in the north.
Yeah. What calibre are you using?
6.5 3 more. Yeah.
Nice. And home load and everything yourself?
So at the minute we're back. So when we fly over there, we're going to be getting some Hornady.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But after that, we're going to be me and my dad. We're going to be reloading our road.
Yeah, nice.
So we can send our brass up to someone we know. And it's going to be fit for our rifles.
Yeah, nice. And what scope are you running on your Creedmoor at the moment?
So my Creedmoor, I've just been generously given a Leopold score at the last fire match I was at, and I'm going to be running that. I haven't got it all together yet, but when I get home.
Is that Mark 5 or?
Thank you.
I think it's Mark 5. I haven't looked into it properly, but I think that sounds right.
Yeah, nice, awesome. So how are you getting on today? Feel like you're shooting all right?
Quite mixed.
Yeah.
My first stage was really good. I got 8 out of 8, but I didn't finish. I got timed out.
Okay.
Then the next stage, I feel like my duck was off a bit, so I was a bit up, so I didn't get anything like that one. But after that, I've been hitting high scores. And I'm happy. Yeah. So a bit of a shaky start, but I've got into it.
You sunk into it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you obviously had a good round there on the rungs.
Yeah, good run. In all fairness, probably my best of the day.
Yeah.
Ability wise, and it's tricky, mine. You know, it's quick.
Yeah.
It goes, you know, like centre fire matches, you usually have 105 seconds. You're down to 90 on rim fire, so it elapses pretty quickly. You know?
It seemed like it because there was basically no one's managed to fit all the targets in within the time slot at the moment.
It's like we're saying, it's a trade-off then as well between probably could if you were holding over.
Yeah.
But are you going to get as many impacts? It's just basically a trade-off, and how confident you are, really.
Yeah, because that's one of the questions I was obviously going to ask was the fact that the rets are there to be used for holdover, but then obviously a lot of you are dialing. And it's that trade-off between actually accurately hitting the target or the speed element.
Exactly, and I think a lot of it's confidence, how confident you are using your rep, you know, because it's quite easy to start losing points here, there and everywhere, or holding wrong. So personally, if I got time, I'll dial for everything.
Right.
You know, I'd even roll wind on.
Yeah.
If it's single stage, or roll the first one on and go from there, sort of thing. Personally, but I mean, people. Different strokes in it.
So you've come from centre fire first, and then got into 2-2.
Yeah, I got my FAC about 5 years ago. Never shot before. Obviously, COVID hit, so that took a chunk of that away. And then just watched a lot of YouTube and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to be running around with a rifle. And then I watched more and more, and then it was like, oh, it looks fun. And so I just got into it from there, really, and just met loads of decent people. So I love it.
Excellent. So you've come down from Wales, is it?
Yeah, Tenby, southwest Wales. So hell of a trek.
Yeah, that's a long way. What did it take you?
Well, we actually left from Carmarthen, so we work in a place called Carmarthen. So from there, it was about 6.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a long old distance.
And we're camping as well, so slumming it a bit, but there we are.
Yeah, and I suppose like shooting a whole, like you've got 10 stages here. It's a lot of concentration. So saying to the previous people.
Yeah, it's surprising how tiring it can be, really. Fatiguing, I'd put it as. You know?
Yeah.
I know I'll sleep well tonight, even in a tent.
Yeah, because you've got the added element of obviously like the time going. Then you've got to be like, obviously this event is this something you're going to be looking to try and qualify for as well?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I think everyone, exactly. But obviously, I'm off to Colorado now.
Oh, you're
September
going
as well. So that's my priority.
Yeah.
Just trying to get my other half. He's just started shooting. He's only shot about 3 matches, so trying to get here into maybe like the women's team. You know, that's the aim. So. So.
Amazing. So what you're going to be running on the centre fire over in Colorado?
6-dasher,
Okay.
Loophole Mark 5.
Yeah.
MDT ACC Elite.
Yeah.
And then all the other bits that go on it, timers, levels.
Yeah.
Bipods. It's where does it stop?
Yeah, it's definitely looking around here today. You can see people definitely invest in the kit.
Yeah, you don't have to though. That's the thing. I think just the more it's a hobby, isn't it?
Yeah.
And people will buy motorbikes, people will buy whatever. So it's how you want to spend your money, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And I enjoy doing it.
So in terms of like a starter tip, what would you suggest is the thing you should invest in most?
Optics.
Optics, yeah.
Definitely.
So buy once, cry once.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone through it of upgrading, and you're always losing money, aren't you? So I know it's an old cliche, isn't it? Buy once, cry once, but I think certain things it's true. Yeah. Because you just lose money, you'll sell stuff on and
and then you eventually find something that suits you best. Yeah. What made you choose Leopold?
Looking through Joe Pass at one of the matches.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was running, I don't know if I just see other brands, but I was running an NX8 before. And I just found the eye box was quite tight on it, stuff like that. So I had a look through Joe's and then just swapped across, really.
Yeah, nice. That's the thing, when you're in the realms of those upper echelon brands, it's very much personal preference.
Yeah.
But one of the main things that is always consistent across all of them, Nightforce, Leopold, ZCO, Schmidt, etc., is just you've got that repeatability.
Yeah.
And I suppose it doesn't matter if you're shooting 2.2, shooting long range centre fire, PRS shooting, you need that consistent ability to dial.
I mean, you get what you pay for, don't you, really? That's why some of them run ridiculous money, but you know, when it's reticle choice as well, like, you know, the scope I had before I didn't buy it for PRS, so that's another reason why I swapped it out. So yeah.
And then what ret have you got in this then? Is it
PR2.
Like and is that like a Christmas tree ret?
Yeah,
is it?
It's not quite as busy, you know. Yeah. And then I've also got that in my Mark 4 as well, which I'm running today. So I run it
so you can jump between the two rifles and sort of interchange quite easily.
That was why I wanted it. They obviously had a newer ret out.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'd stick to what I know. And just try and familiarise myself across both of them rather than going from one to the other. Yeah. You know, consistency is key.
Yeah, and then the rifle, the stock that you run, is an MDT ACC on that as well?
Yeah.
So it's very much they feel the same switching.
Yeah, they're exactly. You know, I've got Mark 4, Mark 5, 2 ACC Elites.
Yeah.
Obviously switch the bipod between them and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Otherwise I'm not buying 2 bipods.
Yeah.
That price.
And they're expensive. Yeah. And what bipod do you got?
Skypod MDT.
Okay.
Single
yeah.
pull. Yeah. So.
Excellent.
They're not cheap, but
you
get what you pay for, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, you go and buy it cheap. I've had a bipod off Amazon before when I first started, and it's a bit rickety. To say the least.
Yeah. Sometimes you assume they're alley and then they come in plastic.
Yeah. So I won't be going down. I'm not doing like a Temu special or anything like that again, you know. So I think it's pay for it, isn't it? Really, because you're only going to end up upgrading regardless. So, you know, if you've got the money, invest it. If it's something you want to do. If you just want to have a bit of fun, then obviously you haven't got to spend that much. But it's how competitive you want to be, really.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's definitely. I think a lot of people that come to if they just turned up and said, look, I'm looking at getting into the sport. They would come to an event like this, and the location's really nice, and it looks fun. It's like quite engaging and exhilarating.
And the thing is, everyone's so welcoming. Like if you come up and you don't really know what you're doing, everyone will let you have a look through a bit of glass or lend you bags, lend you tripods, you know. So if you're looking for optics or whatever, it's always a good place to come, and you can actually get hands on rather than not. And just going off what people say, because everyone's different.
Yeah, definitely.
So my advice would be just come along, really.
Yeah, excellent.
And we'll have the best time.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for that,
no
Steve.
Worries.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
thank you. Cheers. So we've had a great day down here at Dartmouth, and it's been excellent to see so many new shooters coming into the sport. Speaking to the guys a couple of years ago, they only had around 20. They had about 45, 50 shooters here today, and they also had a lot more women. So that's really great to see. Obviously, with the GB event coming next year in July, that's the World Championships. It'd be great to get more people involved and also really start to get some enthusiasm around the sport. So stay tuned. We're going to be staying in close touch with all the guys here and hopefully follow their success all the way to the World Championships.